The pilot hero and the third missile of the Mig-21 are declassified. Xuan Thieu, born in 1945, was a student at the University of Technology of Vietnam. In July 1965, he enlisted in the Army and attended the third group of Mig-21 flight training classes in the Soviet Union. From May 1972, General von Win Jop and the combat staffs of the Air Defense, Air Force raised the question, what is the rate of B-52s shot down making the White House shake? At what point the U.S. cannot stand and must lose? After a few weeks, the answer was given. N1 America's tolerance rate is 1 to 2% out of the total number of U.S. B-52s in combat. N2 the rate of shaking the White House is 6 to 7%. N3 the odds of forcing the U.S. to lose is over 10%. Air Defense Service, the Air Force eliminated N1, determined to reach N2 and reach toward N3. On December 28, 1972, according to Strategic Intelligence, from 21:30 to 23:30 on the night of December 28, the enemy gathered B-52s to attack Hanoi. At 21:58, when arriving at Sun Le, Xuan Thieu discovered the target on the left, in front of a series of flashing lights flying in, which was the signal light of the B-52 aircraft. Thieu reported, O5 discovered a black crow on the left of 40 degrees, 10 kilometers, and adjusted the incline to follow the enemy. In the dark sky, the radar was heavily jammed, so it was difficult to judge the distance. With his naked eye, he followed the signal lights of the B-52. At this time, at the headquarters received a report from Xuan Thieu. Everyone felt excited. Air Force Deputy Commander Tran Man reminded, O5 launched 2 missiles, 5 kilometers, 3 kilometers, escaped. Pilot Xuan Thieu replied, listen well. Deputy Commanders Tran Man and Tran Han both understood that something unusual but very extraordinary had happened. The two commanders flashed the thought that it might be the distance was too close, so it was difficult to estimate at night, after launching 2 missiles at the target. Thieu's plane crashed into the B-52 and heroically died. However, the sacrifice of pilot Xuan Thieu was still a mystery. There was an opinion that Xuan Thieu's plane was shot down by the enemy. The opinions of comrades Tran Man and Tran Han are just viewpoints. In October 2002, the story about Xuan Thieu's suicide fight was deciphered. On a business trip to the U.S., a number of experts from the Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam visited the U.S. Air Force Museum in Washington and studied the book, Air Combat in the Sky over North Vietnam. In the document, there was a detailed record of the air battle on the night of December 28, 1972 in the sky over North Vietnam according to the narratives of American pilots participating in the battle. Author Istvan Toperczer recorded the story of an American pilot flying a satellite mission for a B52D that was attacked by Vietnam Air Force that night. The North Vietnamese Air Force MiG-21 soared in the sky. When it discovered the target B-52 and the American fighters protected it. The MiG-21 cleverly crossed the protective barrier and approached the target. The first missile launched, then the second. The slightly injured B-52 only swayed for a few seconds and still managed to rush to the bomb-cutting position. When the yellow smoke was just released, the MiG-21 flashed like an arrow at the American B-52. Both iron and steel blocks exploded in the sky. Thus, after launching both missiles that could not defeat the B-52, Xuan Thieu was determined to bring down the B-52 by turning the flying MiG-21 into the third missile that rushed at full speed into the flying fortress to prevent enemy step. In a letter Thieu sent to family, which is now kept at the Air Force Museum, was written, "With the B-52, all are ready to fight at any cost, any conditions." Vu Xuan Thieu's actions were not included in any of the training curriculum for any pilots, because it was a suicide act, violating the military discipline at that time, doing it meaning as a sacrifice. More than 20 years later, on December 20, 1994, Lieutenant and Martyr Vu Xuan Thieu was posthumously awarded the title Hero of the People's Armed Forces by the President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. The B52D plane shot down by Lieutenant Vu Xuan Thieu on the night of December 28, 1972 in the sky over Sun Lo was the second B52 plane shot down by the Vietnam Air Force. It was the last flying fortress in 34 of the US B-52 aircrafts shot down in the aerial battle of Dien Bien Phu, Linebacker II in 1972, out of the total number of 68 B-52s shot down. The Air Force Air Defense Service has exceeded the N-3 target. As a result, in the 12 days and nights of the winter of 1972, the rate of B-52s being shot down was 17.6%, 34 out of 197. Hanoi contributed 23 of which, causing panic in the U.S. political class and military.